What's up, everyone? Thank you for tuning in to an early edition of Oilersnation After Dark. I'm Connor Halley, Aaron Bradado alongside with me. As usual, we've got a great show coming up for you. As of course, the Edmonton Oilers victorious 6-1 over the San Jose Sharks. If you listened to the last episode of Oilersnation After Dark, that was my score prediction. I hope you went to Betway. I hope you made that bet, and I hope you cashed in 19 plus. Do so responsibly. My other prediction was Evander Kane 2 goals. That did not happen, so make sure you did not do that one. But 6-1 Oilers, outstanding victory for the team down in California, wrapping up a nice little California road trip. 3-0, according to my stats here, the Oilers in this one, outscoring the Kings, Ducks, and Sharks 12-3 on the road trip. Now they head to Colorado to take on the Avalanche. That's on Tuesday. It's a 7:30 start. Should be a lot of fun. But we're not going to talk about that one quite yet. Let's recap exactly what happened tonight or this afternoon in the game. We'll be joined by BaggedMilk as well as Zach Laing to share their thoughts on all that happened in this one. Straight up, it was just a lot of fun. The Edmonton Oilers went out there and did exactly what they had to do. They got the job done. They beat up on an inferior opponent, and McDavid, 150 points on the season, becomes the sixth player to do that. It's pretty ridiculous, and yeah, of course, we'll talk about that. Also, if you're in the YouTube chat, make sure you hit the like button. Same with on Facebook. Subscribe if you haven't done that yet. And I see a lot of people. Lance, hello, how you doing? Kyle, Craig, Rusty, we've got Darian, Gonzo, some stranger, Rusty the Reckless Optimist, Eric, Camus. Sorry if I butchered your name there. Thank you guys for tuning in. Again, hit that like button. That's what we need. As Aaron's asking right now, what should the goal be? I'm thinking 200. Just aim high and hope we get close to that one. But yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun here again. Thank you guys for tuning in. Let's just start it off. We'll get right into the good, the bad, the oily, brought to you by Cornerstone Insurance. Cornerstone Insurance Brokers, Edmonton's premier boutique insurance brokerage with over 90 years of success and still growing. Visit cornerstoneins.ca/nation to get an online tenant or condo insurance quote in just a few minutes and use discount code NATION for an exclusive rate. Find out why Cornerstone Insurance Brokers are ranked amongst the best in Alberta. Quickly, hello everyone on Facebook. I see Jennifer, Corey, Norm, James, few others in there. Justin, thank you guys for joining us today. Keep that comment section flowing. We love your feedback. Let's bring in Zach Laing to join us here for the good, the bad, the oily. Zach, good afternoon. How you doing?
Connor, I'm doing well. Got to watch Connor McDavid do his thing. Zach Hyman score a goal. How about Philip Broberg getting on the board? That one felt pretty good.
What the hell was Leon Draisaitl doing on that pass? Like, what was that? Who tries that?
Leon Draisaitl, and that is the end of the list. There was nobody besides him that would try that. Just unbelievable stuff from him again.
I tell people, like, when he does a backhand sauce pass, no look, and it doesn't work out, and you're wondering why does he do that? Just remember these ones that he completes. It's outstanding. Yeah, Philip Broberg, first goal of the season. Happy to see him get that one. All right, let's get to the good, the bad, the oily. We start off, as usual, with the good. And the good, McDavid hits 150. I mean, I'm sure there was plenty of people out there that predicted this, just knowing how good Connor McDavid is. But to actually go out there and do it, and, it looked like he was on a mission today from the start of that one. We are up to 151. Thank you, Aaron. But the 150 mark does sound a little bit cleaner, so just go with that one. Zach, pretty impressive.
Yeah, pretty incredible. I mean, what more can you say about Connor McDavid at this point? He's on the Mount Rushmore of hockey already. It's pretty incredible. Like, you look at the list of players that have scored 150 goals in the NHL: Bernie Nichols, Phil Esposito, Stevie Yzerman, Mario Lemieux, Wayne Gretzky, and now Connor McDavid. It's really incredible to see him continuously, produce at such a high level. And this year, he just took his game to another level. It's remarkable to see. I think it's hard to kind of find the correct adjectives or ways to describe what Connor McDavid is doing out there, and it's an all-time season he's having.
It really is. And I mean, like I said, I'm sure a lot of people kind of said, yeah, he'll get to 150. I don't know how serious we would have taken them, but I mean, just what he's been able to do this year, it's phenomenal. He's up to 151 on the season. Draisaitl with 1 assist tonight, 124. Nuge at a 3-point night, so he's up to 103. And Zach Hyman's stellar season continues. He's up to 83 points as well. So yeah, for the Edmonton Oilers, a lot of great years offensively. Today we had a hard time finding something bad today. I mean, not too much to really get upset about for the Edmonton Oilers. You win 6-1. And play the way they did. But we did find something. And the bad today, the Sharks uniforms. I kind of just threw that one out there in the chat because I don't like them, Zach. I don't know. I mean, we're not. I don't know. You've got more fashion sense than I do. What do you think about the Sharks uniforms?
I don't know. I like them. I mean, I think more teams need to have some pops of color. I don't mind the little bit of teal in there. I think I got a little bit on the lapel of my jacket here. So, yeah, nothing wrong with a little bit of teal. I was banging the drum for us to have the bad being the fact that the Masters got postponed, suspended for a second day in a row. I had this really weird gap of about an hour in my afternoon where I just didn't really know what to do because I was expecting to be able to, continue watching the Masters and then go into the Oilers game and have the Masters on at the same time. I was kind of scrambling for an hour there, Connor.
Yeah, that it was disappointing. Like I was watching them and just thinking that looks like hell. I do not want to be playing in that. I don't want to be a fan who paid a ton of money to go down there and watch and stand in it. So that does suck for us. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing better than a lazy afternoon with a little golf on TV. Tough to see, but I'm going to stick with the Sharks uniforms. Let us know in the chat if you're on Facebook and YouTube. Do you like the Sharks uniforms? Give us a rating out of 10, and we'll see what side you're on. Okay, we have to get to the Oily as well. And for the Oily, Demers, 700 career games. Rusty, I saw you in the chat saying the bad was his turnover, but we're not going there. It's a positive occasion. He got to 700 career games. The Cards kind of worked out perfectly with Cody Ceci returning to Edmonton for the birth of his child. Congratulations to the Cecis for that. But for Demers to get in there for 700 career games, yeah, he had a turnover. Still cool for him to get out there, though.
Just an incredible show of support from the Edmonton Oilers for Jason Demers, who's been nothing but a great soldier for them this year down in the American Hockey League with the Bakersfield Condors. This is a guy, Demers, that came to Edmonton, on a professional tryout at the start of the season. He didn't make the team, and they kind of said, hey, well, go down to Bakersfield. We'll give you an amateur tryout down there. Played like two and a half months on an amateur tryout in the American Hockey League, and then in December the Oilers awarded him, a 1-year contract so that he could, earn a good little chunk of money down there this season. And what a classy move it is for them to, be able to recall him and get him a game to make it to 700. It works out well, right, with Cody Ceci, being back here in Edmonton for the birth of his first child. But pretty great little story there for Jason Demers. He's had a pretty solid season down in the American League, and he's really been looked to as a leader down there. I talk a lot with Bruce Kurlock, our prospects writer, and he was really impressed with the leadership that Demers kind of brought to that group down there. And then when I was down in Calgary, the beginning of February to catch a couple Condors games, I had asked the coaching staff, head coach Colin Chalk and some of the other players that are down there about Demers, and they had nothing but great things to say about this guy who really helped pave the way for some of the rookies this year.
Oh yeah, 100%. And you heard him speak yesterday, and just no surprise, says all the right things. Sounds like a good guy to have in your organization, especially at that AHL level. The stat line for him tonight, in case you're wondering, 10 minutes, 44 seconds played. Of course, yeah, he did have the dash one. Can't cover that one up. 3 hits, 3 blocks, 1 shot on goal. So not too bad for him. Okay, we'll bring in the man himself. We've got BaggedMilk ready to jump in here along with us. BM, good evening, good afternoon. Jesus, how you doing tonight?
Good. What's not to like? 7th straight victory. When was the last time the Oilers had a 7-game win streak? Do we know this information? Because I don't remember one.
I think Brendan Delaney was saying that it was like 2006 the last time the Oilers won 7 straight, and we all know how far the Oilers won the playoffs that year.
Well, you love to see it. I mean, it's a game, like obviously you expect the Oilers to beat the Sharks at this stage, but they did. They just dummied them 6-1. What's not to like? It's a matinee. I think we're done now. I think with the matinees, maybe. I don't know, but either way, I'm excited.
Potentially in the playoffs. We've seen that happen before. I remember 2006 calling in sick to work to watch a matinee between the Oilers and the Red Wings. So, yeah, it has happened, but good performance from this team. You guys remember how tough going into LA used to be, and then San Jose and Anaheim, that California road trip was so tough. I mean, I talked about it already. On that road trip, just in California, they won or outscored the teams 12-3. And if you go back to the 2 games before that, you had Anaheim and LA. They outscored those teams 20-3 in the last 5 games. So, you can take shots at Anaheim and San Jose, but the Oilers going out there and BaggedMilk just doing what they have to do.
Yeah, they're beating the teams they have to beat. Like, we are chasing the division. Obviously, Vegas got the 1 point, but now they're only 2 up. We need the points, And even though it should be a gimme based on, the way the season's going and on paper, they never are in the NHL. And you can always lose if you don't play your game. And outside of a couple of lulls here and there where the Oilers looked a little bit flat, I thought they played their game and they got the result they deserved.
Yeah, Vegas today, overtime lost at Dallas. They have 107 points on the season. The Oilers at 105. So within distance, the LA Kings are in action tonight, taking on the Colorado Avalanche, an 8:30 start. One of you guys brought it up before we got on here. If the Kings were to lose, the maximum amount of points they could get up to is 104. The Oilers are at 105. So with the Kings loss tonight in regulation, the Oilers will have clinched second place in the Pacific and home ice advantage. So that would certainly go a long way. Zach, I want to ask you about the Oilers' penalty kill. Another shorty tonight, 17 on the season. They lead the league. Have you noticed anything that they're doing differently, or is it just, guys making plays?
I think it's just guys making plays. I mean, you look at Derek Ryan on the shorthand goal, the Oilers scored today. He was able to just kind of jump that pass from Erik Karlsson. That really seemed like one of those things that's like kind of a pre-scout situation where, the Oilers coaching staff ahead of time says, okay, hey, look, if they win the draw bet and Karlsson gets the puck here, he's probably going to look to go cross ice. And Derek Ryan was able to jump it. He was able to deflect that one out of the air. And I mean, I think what is it now? 17 shorthanded goals on the year, leading the league in that area. I mean, that's a pretty incredible statistic. I really think it just goes to show the offensive firepower that this Oilers team has. Of course, McDavid's got a couple on the shorthanded too, but like Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, like he's having a great season. He's put up a couple there. Derek Ryan's got a little bit of points, on the PK as well this season. A couple of these other depth sort of players chipping in there. It's something that just really helps at the end of the day.
Bagged milk. I mean, let's just pretend you're a coach of an opposing team. I mean, what do you think the message is on the power play? Like, it's becoming to the point where I feel like teams have to game plan for this element that the Oilers penalty kill brings.
Yeah, it's a feast or famine thing on the Oilers side, where when they're killing well and they're aggressive, they're a threat to come up with offense. But when they're a step behind, then it goes the complete other way. So I don't even know what I would say if I'm telling my team to defend the Oilers on the PK, because there's been times where the penalty kill has been so bad, it's lost us games. But then there's other days like today where they're perfect again and they come up with a shorty. So I just have no idea what to expect from the Oilers on a nightly basis when it comes to the PK. Certainly it's gotten better as the season has worn on, but you never know what you're going to get. You really don't. It is just a mixed bag of can be sweet, can be a clusterfuck. It's just, that's Oilers hockey, baby.
Now, quick question for you guys. Have either of you looked at the time on ice tonight, this afternoon?
I haven't.
Okay.
I wrapped up the wrap-up, Connor, and I was, I'm glad you brought this up because it is wild how Woodcroft spread out the minutes today.
Yeah, well, I mean, you look at Connor McDavid. I don't know about, how much you guys have heard this, but we've had a lot of people at the day job asking about, load management. Should McDavid or Draisaitl get the night off? Connor McDavid played under 17 minutes tonight. Obviously, they get the big lead, but under 17 minutes. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins was at 19 minutes. He had a lot of time on the penalty kill. McDavid, no time on the PK, so that probably weighed into it. Evander Kane, 18 minutes. Leon Draisaitl, 17 minutes. I mean, Derek Ryan played just under 16. Fogel's at 15. Yamamoto 16. Bukestad 16. And it was balanced out there. So I'll ask you guys this: do you think this was an intentional tactic here by Jay Woodcroft, saying, "Hey, we're not going to do load management. This isn't the NBA. You're not Kawhi Leonard, but let's limit the minutes when we can." And obviously, McDavid playing no time on the PK kind of shows that.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, you have to look at the sheet like you said, and it shows it right there. I mean, I think this is a great thing, right? Even for a guy like McDavid, he's usually up around that 22-minute mark a night. So, if they can take 5, 6, 7 minutes off his plate, tonight against Colorado next week, and then against San Jose again, next Thursday or Friday, I think it is. I think that's a great thing, because I think at the end of the day, the Oilers aren't a team. We've seen this in the past. The Oilers aren't a team that's going to go out there and sit anybody, unlike the Toronto Maple Leafs are doing right now.
We've got the goals, so why don't we get to them? Because there's quite a few to get to, and we'll just break them down. I mean, we got to look at that Leon Draisaitl pass once again. First one, though, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, number 37 on the season. Hyman and McDavid get the assist. For Nuge, probably not going to get an easier goal than that one, hey? I mean, he's shown he can snipe. Bagged milk. Now it's just nice to get those tap-ins.
Oh, it's always nice to get a tap in. And what I find interesting is that James Reimer left that back door open all day. Like, that's what the Nugent Hopkins goal and then Connor's first are basically identical from where they got scored. So really nice play by Nugent. The question I have now is he's got his 100 points. We're at 103 now. By the way, we're raising some money for the Edmonton Humane Society based on Nuge points. So if you want to join in on that, just DM me. But back to the goal. Nice to see it. Love to see it. Can he get to 40? 2 more games. Come on, baby. Let's go, Nuge.
I threw it out there. Can he get to 106? That was his career high with the Red Deer Rebels. I mean, he's close. He's getting very close. And BaggedMilk, can you elaborate on that Humane Society? I'd like to touch on that quickly.
Sure. Yeah, we just somebody slid into my DMs. I wish I could remember who it was exactly. There's a small group of us that for every point Ryan Nugent Hopkins gets, we're going to donate $1 to the Edmonton Humane Society. So today he's up to 103. So my donation is currently $103. We're just trying to find people to join in if you want to and if you're able. And if not, just help us spread the word. It's a fun little thing that we're doing. I know Nuge is a big animal guy, so we felt like the Humane Society is the place to do it. So currently, like I said, donations at $103. Here's hoping he gets another 50 points in the last 2 games.
And people can DM you on Twitter?
Yeah, just DM me on Twitter if you want details or just want to know what we're doing. It's just kind of, we're going to donate. We're going to post the screenshots and try and raise as much money as we can.
Absolutely love it. YouTube, Facebook, do it. Get on this bandwagon. We might as well. I mean, Aaron, why don't you bring up the Nuge shirt as well? If you go over to nationgear.ca, there's a bunch of stuff coming out, obviously, because, the playoff gear is around. It's got the dry settle stuff. Everything is great. And this is the shirt that I said I wanted. This was my favorite shirt of them all. Year of the Nuge. I added but 100 points on the season. We might have to edit that one, put it up to 103, maybe 106, 107. But head over to nationgear.ca. You can check all the stuff out on Twitter and Instagram as well at Nation Gear. Some great stuff there. I'm envious that you guys have access to that so easily. If it was me and I worked in the building there, I might be sliding over to the storage room, but check it out, nationgear.ca. All right, let's get to the second goal of the game here. Connor McDavid, 63 on the season. I believe that was the case here. And, Zach, this, no stopping McDavid at this point. It seems like he just wants to score goals and he's going to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's funny. I mentioned this on an episode of Oilers Nation Radio on Friday. I was watching an old game of the Oilers from back in 2017. They were playing against the Tampa Bay Lightning, and McDavid scored 4 goals in what was like a 6-1 or a 6-2 victory. And I was watching the goals, and it feels like the same Connor that we're seeing now. It's kind of incredible to see the way that his game has remained so consistent. He's a threat anywhere on the ice. I think that's what's one of the things that's most impressive. I don't know how they decided to leave him backdoor like they did here on this goal, because that's a guy you want to keep your eyes on, right? He had all the time and space there to find that loose puck, just like Nuge did earlier in the first.
Goal number 4, or number 4 on the game. We did skip over the Thomas Hertl goal. Goal number 3 for the Oilers. Zach Hyman, 36 on the season. I think Matthias Ekholm should be getting a lot of love for the pass here. I liked Zach Hyman, taking the space they allowed him. They kind of let him walk right in. Nice little backhand, but BaggedMilk, that pass from Matthias Ekholm, Draisaitl-esque.
I'm just going to keep pumping Matthias Ekholm's tires any chance I get, because the guy's fitting in so perfectly with the Oilers. That's up to 12 points now since he's been here. A really nice little play to get the puck down low to Hyman. Hyman walks, like you said, they give him all the space he needs. He walks it right in front of the net. The backhander slips through the body and the arm. You love to see it. Great play by Ekholm. I love the guy. I can't wait to see how big that beard gets in the playoffs, and I can't wait to see Hyman's playoff mode engaged too, because he's starting to heat up a little bit down the stretch. There's a lot to like here.
Zach, are you going to shave the beard and grow a playoff beard, or just keep going?
Just keep going. It's playoff beard year round for me, Connor. Nobody needs to see what is underneath all of this facial hair.
Man, I'm the same way. That's why I grow it out. Just cover up a little bit, a little mysteriousness there. And I am intrigued to see how the beards go. Will some guys start over or just keep it going? We shall see. How about the common man, Derek Ryan, 13 goals on the season, another shorty, 17th for the team, leading the league in that category. And hey, just a good heads-up play. Nuge jumps up into the play. Nice finish, and nice to see the Oilers score those goals late in the period. We know how big of a backbreaker that can be. That was the nail in the coffin for me.
Yeah, really nice play by the Oilers to first of all break out. You love the classic shorthanded 3-on-1. You don't see those very often, but you love to see it. A nice little give and go with Nuge and Ryan. They can't handle our Ryans. we've got all the Ryans you need and you can't handle either of them. So nice finish on the goal. Like you guys said earlier, 17th shorty of the season. There's just, the Oilers are a threat no matter what the situation is. And it's a lot of fun to watch, to be honest.
We'll get to the Oilers, I believe, 5th goal. Philip Broberg, his 1st goal of the season. I hope we have a nice angle of Draisaitl's pass. But Zach, good to see Broberg get on the scoreboard. Probably big for the confidence, especially just this year's been kind of weird for him. And the pass from Leon Draisaitl, just unreal.
I mean, you see it right here. I mean, what kind of a pass is that? That's just insanity. I mean, absolutely a feel-good moment here for Philip Broberg, who was absolutely not expecting that puck to find its way back to him. You always kind of keep your head up when you're out there with Connor and Leon. But you know what? Philip Broberg, I thought, has had a really, really strong season. I'm actually really excited to do my yearly player reviews at the end of the year and talk about Broberg, because I think he's got a really bright future on this team. I think there's a lot of things that he does right. And this entire play was just a good example of it, right? His skating is his biggest strong point. The defensive zone, he makes a little chip off the wall there. And then he just kind of finds some space on the ice and he's able to slide in behind the defenseman. I mean, that's exactly what you want to see, from a young defenseman who's got offensive upside in his game like him.
Yeah. And I mean, like you said, I wonder what was going on in Broberg's head. Like, what's Draisaitl doing here? Oh, okay, he found me. Got to put this in. But heads up play to find that open space, get over there and know that you're playing with a player like Leon Draisaitl. BaggedMilk, quickly, what have you thought of the season for Broberg so far?
It's been an up and down year, but at the same point, I feel like that's what we should expect from a young player that's just trying to figure it out at the NHL level. I think maybe there's some people, myself included, that would have hoped that Broberg would be further along. I don't think that it's necessarily unusual that development at his age is not a straight line. So I'm happy to see him because he's been playing some good hockey. He hasn't been playing a whole lot down the stretch here as the Oilers have been collecting all these wins. So to see him get rewarded with a nice goal, a nice little second effort drive to the net, kicks it up to his skate or his stick and then in. You love to see it. You love to see a guy maybe get a little bit of confidence, because as the playoffs come, boys, we know that there's going to be situations where you need different guys to step up in different situations. So hopefully Broberg can have a little bit of confidence going into the postseason, because there's a reality is we're probably going to need him. So it's been it's been a roller coaster with a young player that's just trying to learn a really tough position. I think it's pretty normal from my end.
Totally agree. Working his way up there. I mean, we'll all remember the COVID season with Evan Bouchard, where he found himself watching for the press box a lot. And I know some people weren't happy, but that's just unfortunately how it goes. And for Philip Broberg, love that he got that goal. Hopefully the confidence remains high with him in that one. We'll get to the final goal. Connor McDavid, number 64 on the season, from Nuge and Bouchard. Bouchard had a couple assists in this game. Zach, again, just Connor McDavid. You can't let him do this to your goalie. You can't let him put him on SportsCenter. That's top 10.
Yeah, it is. James Reimer's going to be seeing a couple of those goals on his highlight reel, I guess, or whatever the anti-highlight reel would be. The blooper reel. There we go. That's the word I'm looking for, the blooper reel. You can't give Connor McDavid any time. I mean, you can't do anything with Connor McDavid. Like, let's be real here. Like, I don't really think it matters what any team tries to do to stop Connor McDavid. I legitimately think he's unstoppable. It doesn't seem to matter what any team throws at him. You look back even to the playoffs last year, the way he just ran around LA all series long. And then in Calgary, he just absolutely dominated them for 5 games. Not even like Calgary was even really trying at that point in the playoffs, to be honest with you. They accepted their fate of losing to the Oilers and Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl, and rightly so, because everybody in the NHL should be bowing to McDry supremacy.
I was working on the pregame show for 1260, and someone texted in on the power play, why don't opposing teams just shadow McDavid? And I kind of laughed, like, good luck. You're going to keep up with him, and then you're not going to play like a 3-man zone with one guy in man coverage. Like there's a reason coaches don't do that, because it would get exposed quite quickly. I want to get to this one here, BM, and it's from Britt on Facebook. Feels like Kane is stockpiling Juju, taking tons of great shots, and he's going to get rewarded in the playoffs. yeah, he was buzzing today for a guy who didn't get on the score sheet. He seemed like he was doing a lot.
I mean, 18-22 for Kane, 7 shots on goal, 4 hits. Yeah, you didn't get on the score sheet, but that was not for a lack of effort. So I think that it's been a tough season for Kane. Obviously, he missed a lot of time with 2 significant injuries. So to have him finally getting his timing back and looking more like the Evander Kane that we need him to be down the stretch here as we go into the playoffs, I've got no concerns about him whatsoever. The hands are going to catch up to the effort. Some of these are going to start going in a lot more volume. I know we had the hat trick a little while ago, but Evander Kane's going to be Evander Kane. And even when he's not scoring, he's mixing it up and he's causing some mayhem. And that's what we need him to do. So I like his game right now. I think the goal scoring is going to come together. And I mean, when you get 7 shots on net, he could have had 1, 2, maybe 3 tonight anyway. I know producer Aaron bet on him to score the hat trick. We know he's due for one. I think it's coming.
I hope so. I mean, he goes to the right places. He's able to finish in tight. Zach, when I guess for the opposing teams, let's say it is the Oilers Kings, kind of looks like that's how it's going to end up in the first round of the playoffs. Obviously, their fan base is going to be worried about McDavid and Draisaitl and Nuge, but where does Evander Kane rank in the power rankings of worrying about the Oilers? Because not only can he score, but he might punch someone in the face. He might throw a hit. He might, you just never know. He's got that little crazy element that he can bring.
I mean, like, honestly, probably like 6th, maybe 7th or 8th on like the list of like players to be concerned about, right? Because obviously Connor and Leon are number 1 and 2. You can't take your eye off Nugent Hopkins or Zach Hyman, right? Defensively, Matthias Ekholm and Evan Bouchard are looking great. So there's 6 right there. And then it's like, oh yeah, there's Evander Kane still. I think he is stocking up some juju here. And I think we're going to have another one of these playoff performances from him where he's like almost a goal per game or something like that crazy because, it's been a tough year for Evander, right? He had the skate injury, then he came back. He only got a handful of games in, and then he busted up his ribs pretty good is what it sounds like. He's finally kind of starting to find his stride a little bit right now. And I mean, there's no better time to do so with the playoffs, a week and a half away.
100%. And yeah, I mean, if he gets going, just the depth that the Oilers have, compiled this year, especially going down into that bottom 6, it's a really encouraging thing. And you're right, Evander Kane, he's gone through some adversity this year with a lot of things, even had some off-ice issues he's had to deal with. But, I think that's going to fuel him, and he'll be ready for a nice long playoff run here. Bagged Milk, I just want to mention this one to you because it's popped up on the YouTube chat a couple times. Ekholm, +6 today.
I mean, I'm not really a big plus minus guy, but +6, you always look at the stat and you go, well, that's something that we should note. Again, I talked about him earlier. I love this dude. And the more he plays, the more I fall in love with our new Viking overlord because he does everything right. He's really steadied up the defense since he showed up. Darnell Nurse is looking more like the Darnell Nurse that we've had a couple years ago since he's been here. His offense is better than expected. I can't say enough good things about Matthias Ekholm. At first, when the trade happened, I went, oh man, we're losing Schaefer in the first and Barry. And I go, I know about Ekholm. I know he's good, but I didn't think he was this good. And to have him for 3 years beyond this one, as we go into the stretch and into the playoffs, I'm really excited about this player.
I don't think you're alone. Another thing to get excited about, all Oodle Noodle locations in Edmonton are giving away free Oilers Nation stickers to fans. Visit an Oodle Noodle location today to snag a sticker and some tasty noodles. Check them out on social media at Oodle_Noodle on Twitter, at Oodle Noodlegram on Instagram. I've had a few people come to me and say, like, hey, can you get me some stickers? And I just say, go to Oodle Noodle, buy yourself some lunch, and pick up a sticker. It's that easy. So, yeah, check it out.
It's good living.
Sorry?
You go into an Oodle Noodle, Connor. You say, I want 55 spring rolls. I'm building myself a fort. They give you 55 spring rolls. And then you say, all right, I need another even dozen green onion cakes because I need to put a roof on this fort. Then you eat your way out of that fort. And when you get out of it, you got some free Oilers Nation stickers to boot. What a day you've had. That's a Sunday fun day if ever I've heard of one.
Amen. Amen. That's one. Yeah, Easter Sunday. Forget the other things. Go over to Oodle Noodle. Have some fun. Get your stickers, put them on your car, maybe give one to your friend, put on his car, and we'll all know that you are a citizen. Okay, why don't we bring in our producer, Aaron Barado. We're going to get to our Betway picks in a second here. Aaron, you missed out on that Kane Hattie today. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know. You try and, bet something into existence. I thought because he's mathematically due, it was a Sharks revenge game, and he's been buzzing lately, like you guys just said. And I agree with Brittany. He's working up the juju. Kane's a playoff guy. Like his entire style is built for the playoffs. So I can't wait to see what he's going to do. And I might have to sprinkle on a hat trick for the next 2 games. We'll see.
I like it. Hey, I mean, you'd be pissed if you did it and you didn't throw a little money down on Betway. 19 plus, bet responsibly. Also, we should mention, because it is looking more and more like the Oilers will take on the LA Kings. I know they are within distance of the Vegas Golden Knights for first in the division. But for right now, it's looking like it's going to be the Kings. If you want to get down to LA for potentially, some nice weather, some Disneyland, and some playoff hockey, AMA Travel is the best way to do that. They'll help you out. So check them out with AMA Travel. They also do a lot of great things with the Nation Vacations. So check them out, AMA Travel. Okay, let's get to some picks here. Predictions. The Oilers' next action comes on Tuesday, 7:30, taking on the Colorado Avalanche. And it's going to be a fun game. I mean, the Colorado Avalanche battling through some injuries. The Oilers obviously going to want to win this one. A lot of guys trying to set, even higher marks in the season. Connor McDavid probably still wants to score a few more goals. So let's start with you, Zach. Give me one prediction for Betway, and a chance to win some money, and then one score prediction in that game.
Well, you know what? Jason Greger made it a little bit on Twitter. The Oilers are currently on a 7-game winning streak for the first time since 2001. On that same winning streak, they won a record 9 games in a row. So the Edmonton Oilers really have a chance here to tie a franchise record by the end of the season if they can pull out victories against Colorado and against San Jose next week. I'm going to say the Oilers are able to do it. They beat the Colorado Avalanche by a score of 3-2.
BaggedMilk, what do you got?
One of my bets that I've liked a little bit lately, he's got 17 points in his last 17 games. Evan Bouchard to register an assist. I got that one today at a plus 140. The odds been floating around there, somewhere around there, give or take a little bit over the last couple of games. I like that bet. And I like that bet in a 4-2 victory over the Colorado Avalanche.
Aaron, hold on one second. I just want to give a minute here to see if Satan's going to join us today. I don't want to give him an opportunity if he wants to get in here. And if he wants to make a prediction, he's more than welcome.
It's about time you let me in. I've been waiting here for 33 fucking minutes. The Oilers just blew the San Jose Sharks out of the water, and Satan wanted to celebrate. I've been betting on everything. I bet on Connor McDavid to get 2 points. I bet on Nuge to get 2 points. I parlayed that with Derek Ryan to get 2 points. And you know what that does? A shot of lightning in the veins. Things fired up. I'm going into my Easter Sunday jacked up on Betway wins and chocolate. Today's a good day. So on whenever, when do they play the Colorado Avalanche? Is that Tuesday or something? Either way, it doesn't matter. They're going to go into Colorado or at Rogers Place, wherever it is, and they're going to clean up and they're going to get a 6-6-6 win. The score is high, so you're going to want to bet the over.
Thanks, Satan.
Thank you, Satan.
Always nice when Satan pulls up.
Aaron, how about you? Betway predictions, score predictions?
I think it'll be like a 4-3 victory. I don't know what the line will be set at, but you know me, I'm a sucker for the over. And I think I'm going to do Evander Kane first goal scorer. The man's due, and I just agree. I'm going to keep doing it until it happens because, as you said, when he does hit one of these, and if I don't do it, I'm going to hate myself. So,
Did you say 4-3?
Yeah.
I think that's a great pick. But I won't. Okay, I'll go 3-2 then, a little bit lower. I hate to do that because I want to obviously see more and more points. I'm going to take an Ekholm goal if it's available. I think he's got a goal coming in a big situation, and I'm just going to hope I will that into existence. BaggedMilk, we lost you for a second there. Welcome back.
Yeah, thank you. I'm really looking forward to that game against Colorado. It's a big one for the Oilers. Like Zach said, if they win out, not only can they tie a franchise record in terms of consecutive wins, but that puts them in a really good spot. This Vegas thing is interesting to me. They're right there, and I want it. Give me the division, baby.
One thing just to randomly throw out there. Sidney Crosby got to point 1,500 today, and pretty remarkable. He's had 6 100-point seasons. Connor McDavid's had 6 100-point seasons already, and would have had another if it wasn't for that shortened COVID season. So I don't know. I found that kind of surprising. McDavid, the start he's off to is just absolutely ridiculous what he's been able to do. The haters will say he doesn't have the cups yet, but hey, there's plenty of time for that still to come.
Did you see Sid's backhand goal today?
Oh, ridiculous. And the thing that's fun too, Aaron, is that Sid, like, every now and then Sid needs to remind you he's still Sid. And the Penguins need the wins. They're fighting for a playoff spot, and for him to come up with some performances like he has lately, it's been fun to watch.
That guy has the clutch gene. He's always had it. And it was nuts. But Leon might be the best backhand passer in the league, but I still see some of those Sid backhand goals he scores, and I'm just like, how? But that dry still pass we saw today, I just had to get it in there. That was insane. Like you said, who tries that pass? How does that work out? And Broberg's face said it all.
It's something. And Sidney Crosby, 91 points on the season at the age of 35. Certainly phenomenal. And I like that point. Every once in a while, he just has to let people know he's that guy. Okay, that's going to do it for us here on Oilers Nation. Not quite after dark, but afternoon. All our sponsors, Cornerstone Insurance, check them out, cornerstoneins.ca/nation. Oodle Noodle, you can go in there today, grab some noodles, or tomorrow or the next day, get some stickers, share them with your friends. Nation Gear, we've got the nude shirt, we've got dry saddle, we've got the playoff gear. Check them out, nationgear.ca/collections. And AMA Travel, if you're looking to take a road trip or just a vacation once the season ends, always get to check those fine folks out at AMA Travel. What else? Betway, have some fun. Bet responsibly, be 19. If you're 18, don't do it. If you're 19, feel free to jump in there. But bet responsibly. Zach, BaggedMilk, Aaron, thank you guys for everything. Everyone who tuned in today on YouTube and Facebook, even on Twitter, give us a retweet on Facebook, YouTube, hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe to Oilers Nation on all their social media platforms. It's great content all the time. We'll be back on Tuesday after the Oilers take on the Colorado Avalanche. It's a 7:30 start, so we'll be on probably about 10:15. Hopefully we'll see you there. And thank you for tuning in to Oilers Nation After Dark.